What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So I'm going to take you guys along with me today. You guys seem to like these videos where I take you along with me and kind of show you out in the field stuff where we're buying these investment properties and flipping these houses. So we're actually going to go look at a few more properties just like we did on the other video, but we may be able to get inside a few of these. But also today, we're going to do what we call a second look. This is when our acquisitions team has went out and found a potential property, and they have brought it to us, and now the owners, myself, Steve, and Andrew, are going to go out and assess it ourselves. We are not brave enough yet to buy a flip property just based on our acquisitions team's review of it. So we need to go put our hands and eyes on it ourselves and make sure it is a very good property and a very good investment. Keep in mind, we're the ones that are ultimately responsible for our investors, not our acquisitions team. So we can't hold them accountable if it is not a good deal. So we're actually going to go do what we call, again, a second look, walk through the whole thing and put a budget together on it and make sure that we are offering the right price, and then we will put in a cash offer. And so, yeah, I'm going to take you guys along with me as we do that. So first I had to stop by the office. Today is draw day. Draw day is basically when we invoice for all the houses. All the invoices come in from contractors, the utility companies, all that. We have about 25 houses under management right now just inside the flip company, and all of those have bills each and every week, and those have to get paid. So I come in here, audit that, I pay my share on my investments, and then we'll head out to look at these houses. All right, so I showed some of you guys this before on Instagram, but I'm going to show you real quick how we do our draw system. We do this every week to pay our contractors, to pay our utilities on our house. You know, even though a house is not getting worked on, it has holding costs like electricity and gas and whatever. And then we put all that right here on this draw log. Our bookkeeper puts this together, and then we send this out to our investors to get the money from them, unless they gave us all the money up front, depending on how they invested with us. And then we get all the bills paid. And I'm going to kind of show you how I do my own. So my houses are the ones in red, but I'm going to show you one of the houses that that's getting work on it right now, and that's Plantation. So this is actually in contract, but they wanted a repair. One of the repairs was they wanted the chimney fixed. It's a costly repair, but we are doing really well in this house, so that was okay. We agreed to it. So I keep my own log as well. So after I add this all up, I put all the amounts out to the side, and then I come over here to my own log. These are my own folders that I keep on my house, and every time I pay out money, I write it down. And this helps me keep track on how much money I have out on each house. The bookkeeper does it as well, but this is kind of a foolproof plan. And then I even do one more step on my checkbook. I write one check out, and I've covered up my numbers here so you guys don't rob me. But I do one checkbook for all the houses and put all the amounts in total here. But in the memo, I break down every house and how much I'm paying out on each house. So that's kind of how we do our drawing here, keep track of the houses and keep the bills updated and paid. All right, guys, so we're over here at the second look I was telling you about. We've already walked through it. The owners are in there right now. They still own this house. Again, this is a second look, not an auction house. So real quick, a tip on this: don't just run in these people's houses when you're making an offer and start measuring and using the camera and shooting footage and all that stuff. Keep in mind, it's still their home, and their personal belongings are in there. You know, you got to be respectful of all of that. I did ask them if I could film, and they said yes, so I just took some B-roll video, which I'm going to show you. But please be personal with these people. Sometimes they don't want to sell their home, or they don't want to move, and they're just having to do it for some type of situation that might be out of their control. So be respectful of all that, and when you're personable, that will help things go a long way when you start negotiating. So after the B-roll video, I'll tell you guys what we came up with budget-wise, and I'll let you know what our offer is going to be on this home. All right, so Steve's out here now. I think he's doing, are you doing room measurements?
Doing room measurements. I can't talk today. Checking for structural, checking windows. Hold on.
And then you're going to use our rehab valuator printouts. Just show them that real quick. So this is just the reevaluator. I'm going to do a video on this. We use this for all of our houses. It's been a great system so far. Basically, Steve's just going to fill all this out. It works on the iPad too, but sometimes we don't have service, so he does it here on the paper. So as you can tell, as a smaller house, was actually a cool story about the owner. He actually plays Santa Claus and he plays the captain of the Titanic in his spare time. So it's actually pretty cool. He's got a whole room full of Santa Claus stuff and Titanic stuff where he dresses up and plays those characters. You meet all types of cool people when you're doing this. That's another reason I love doing this. All right, but anyway, Steve's working on the budget right now. I'll show you a little bit of that and then tell you the numbers. All right, so we just all stepped out here. Steve finished up the budget. We came up with about $46,000 in total repairs. That includes about $8,000 in overage. You always want to include that. That's for things that you can't account for or can't see, and just in case, it's like an emergency fund inside of your budget. I think they're at around $21,000 is what they're asking. It's going to be a little bit tight because our total resale is $80,000 over here, and it's just not enough margin. So what we might do is just purchase this house as is and then sell it to an investor or a landlord that might rent it out. So let's say we pick it up for 21, put it right back up on the market for 35, maybe get 30 for it, make a quick 7 or 8 after the realtor, and they get out of their home and we make a quick profit, and it works out best for everybody. And the landlord gets a good rental. Might be one of my rentals. I guess we'll see. All right, so that's it for this house. All right, here's one of the houses that we're looking at today. This is actually the second house. The last house we just drove right on by it because it was not in a good area and it did not look good. So I'm gonna real quick run up to this and knock just like the last time and see if anybody's home. I already see a little sticker right here on the door, which is usually a good sign that nobody is home. Take a second. I'm almost positive nobody's home. Let's take a peek here. You see inside. There we go. Wood floors. Now on the walk up, I saw some stair stepping, but I'm gonna walk around this house real quick. Kind of take a look at the whole thing. The roof seems to be in okay condition. It's not awesome. The windows are old. You can see that right away. They're not the updated type windows, so we need to go ahead and budget for that. This is a nice house, nice rancher, nice flat yard, good neighborhood. All right, so now we're around back. Look, I can see the windows all the way around need updated. Now, if we're gonna sell it as is, we might be able to leave them, but if we're gonna flip this thing, the AC is in good condition. And now look, here's more of this stuff. This is the stuff you guys wanna look for right here, guys. This stair stepping is what we call it. And that, it means structural. Oh man, this is actually some of the worst we've seen here. That's not good. So this is gonna have a, oh man, look at this. Oh wow, never seen it like this before, this bad. The door's open as well. So I'm not gonna walk in there, especially not on the phone. I don't know all the legal things behind that, so we're not gonna do that. But anyway, this has a ton of structural that needs fixed. So we're gonna have to get Steve over here to look at this. But again, it's a decent neighborhood, nice house. I'm starting to get snowed on now. So I'm gonna get back into the truck. But here's the back side of the house. So yeah, we'll get Steve over here to take a look at this. Andrew and I are not qualified enough to see everything this will need. Actually, Steve just pulled up behind Andrew. I'm not even sure how he knew we were over here. So Steve's gonna check this out right now, see what's going on here, because they're asking $45,000, I believe, for this house. But that won't matter. That's a good price, but that won't matter if it needs as much structural as we think it needs. I'll update you guys in just a second.
So these helical piers, what these do is they attach them to the footers themselves, and then what it does is supports the footing.
So Steve thinks that they've already fixed the structural.
Right here.
So that'd be good news. If they've already fixed the structural, we won't have to do it, and we'll just have to make the repairs to this brick.
They've done an internal drain up underneath the house.
How do you fix this brick like that?
Maybe you have to take it back off there.
Man, that's bad.
They probably end up having to lift that again.
Could you put just a little bit of paint on it?
Yeah. little, like they say, just caulk it.
Just you'd like that, wouldn't you, Steve?
Oh, I love caulk.
Oh man, I don't know if that can make it in the video. All right, so I'm actually back in the truck now. It got too cold for me out there. So now we can't decide if the structural's already been repaired or whoever actually tried to repair it made it worse and did what you saw to it. So that's kind of a big gamble. It's actually a $75,000 opening bid and not a $45,000 that I thought it was. So it's probably just going to be a little bit too close on the numbers. We're still trying to figure it out. But we just think this one's just going to be too tight. After we do the structural repairs, update the windows and the roof, it's about $150,000 resale over here, and it just doesn't leave enough margin for us to bid on it. Unless we can just buy it as is and sell it as is, then we're probably just going to pass on it. I'll update you and let you know what we do. All right, so I'm actually back in the office now. Andrew and I came back here. We ran some numbers on that house, and it's just not going to work out. Anytime you have structural like that, you're kind of guessing unless you have an engineer go up there and look at it and sign off on it or tell you what it's going to cost. Steve's really, really good at estimating, but that's still just an estimate. And we would have to know by like 4 o'clock today when the auction was. It's just not enough time. So we just passed on it. But we did get the first house we looked at this morning. We bought that one for $21,000, and I think we're just going to wholesale that house, maybe throw a roof on it, clean it up, and put it right back up on the market. But we won't actually get that house until 1 more month, I think, because they're living in it until then, and then they're moving out. So I'll update you guys on that when we actually take possession of that property. But that's it, guys. That's going to wrap up today. I hope it was interesting for you. I hope I gave you some knowledge that you didn't know before about looking at some of these houses. And yeah, if you liked it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. See you, Andrew.